This is the sound of your ride home with Dad after he caught you vaping. Awkward, isn't it? Most vapes contain seriously addictive levels of nicotine and disappointment. Know the real cost of vapes. Brought to you by the FDA.
Streaming December 12th on Peacock. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are back.
That's hot. Loves it.
For a show-stopping reunion that will prove putting on an opera is anything but simple.
We're really good at this.
One thing's for sure, they won't be upstaged.
Good to have you back. Come on, we've got a show to do.
Paris and Nicole, The Encore, a 3-part reunion special, streaming December 12th, only on Peacock.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I'm going to be comparing the two video games, Elite Dangerous and X4 Foundations. Now, both games are extremely difficult space simulators. One has more than the other. One does different things than the other, and yeah, it's definitely one of those games where it's like, you know, they're both gonna most likely be on your radar if you are looking for some space simulator games. But I will say that in my opinion, one does something better than the other, and I think by this particular thing, yeah, it makes it a much more better video game. Because here's the thing, so I want to overall talk on my history with both games and then get into the review part. So I started off playing Elite Dangerous. I remember seeing Elite Dangerous on the Xbox, and yeah, I was like, okay, this looks like an interesting game. Let me see what it's all about. Had no idea what I was doing. None whatsoever. Because unless they have tutorials like now in the game. I just remember when I had bought that game on my Xbox, they ain't put me in no tutorial unless I had skipped it. And then my thing is this. If that's the case, where if you're going to have it where you skip the tutorial, at least ask, is this your first time playing? Because we recommend you play the tutorial. If not that, then yeah, when it what's going on. So anyways, I go and play the game for the first time, had no idea what I was doing, never touched the game again. I think I did maybe once more. I'm trying to think. I feel like there might have been a time afterwards where I did try to play the game again, but after that I just said, nah, forget it. And I think I did record a video of myself even playing the game. Hold on for a second. Let me look up Elite Dangerous on my gaming channel. Yeah, I uploaded 2 videos. So it was one video in 2016, and then there was another video in 2021. And yeah, both times, because I think, yeah, I spent like the first however, because the video is 35 minutes long, so I know I spent a good majority of that video trying to figure out what to do. And then the second video, I think that was just me seeing how the game looked on the Xbox Series X. But other than that, it was like, yeah, it's still a confusing game. I ain't even gonna fool with it and stuff. So anyways, then yeah, I just left it alone after that. So not too long ago, I was looking into well, actually, I'm trying to think because I think it was around the time when I discovered X4 Foundations. But I was really into space simulators, and I think the main reason why I got so heavily involved in space simulators is because I was playing this game called Spaceborne 2. Spaceborne 2 is a pretty solid game. If you're looking for a much more easier space simulator, I would definitely recommend you check that out first, and then start focusing on the other space simulator games, like the difficult ones and things like Elite Dangerous and whatchamacallit, X4 Foundations. How did I forget the name of the game that fast? Anyways, so yeah, afterwards, of like playing so much of Spaceborne 2, I started getting interested in other space games. So then I came across Elite Dangerous again, and then second time around, so I'm playing it on PC this time. I have a gaming PC, so I'm like, I figured it would probably be a lot more easier to play it on PC versus console, because it seems like when they try to transfer a game over from PC to console, it just doesn't play right. Like, there's numerous games that I played where there's a PC version, and then there's a console version, and I'm like, yeah, that just, nah, I'm not even gonna fool with that game. But I think that's what it was. It was like, I remember, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I have this game on Xbox, so no, let me just go ahead and download it again. But before I did that, I seen that they were no longer updating the game. So I was like, because I was going to save myself some money by just going and getting, because they came out with a DLC for Elite Dangerous where it's called like Odyssey or something like that, where it's, they have it where it's like, you know, you can like walk around, because before I think it was just like, you're just flying around and stuff, but now they have it where it's like your character can actually get out of the spaceship, walk around, shoot at things and stuff. So yeah, I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, that seems like, pretty fun. So yeah, let me go ahead, check it out. They didn't even release that DLC on console, so I'm like, if they did, I didn't see anything about it, but it just looks like that they're only focused on the PC version. My thing is this, then why even release the console version if you're not gonna focus on it? You know, it's like, to me, I just feel like that's a waste of time, and that's a waste of money for the person that went out and bought it, and it's like, what's the reason of even buying it if y'all ain't gonna do nothing to it? And I think the game, I think it's still available on Xbox. Hold on for a second. I think it's available on both Xbox and PlayStation. Let me just see at Elite Dangerous Xbox. Let's just see. Yeah, you can buy this game right now for $20. To me, that's just crazy, because I'm like, that just doesn't even make any sense, where it's like, you guys aren't doing nothing to the game, so it's like, why even still have it available on Xbox? My thing is this. Yeah, it's like they only came out with 3 different versions. There was like, so they got Elite Dangerous Core, Elite Dangerous Arena, and then add-on where it's just, yeah, it's the same thing, Elite Dangerous. So it's like, there ain't no like different add-ons. I wouldn't even recommend fooling with the game on console. I mean, if you want to buy it on console, you very well can, but they're not doing any updates to it compared to like how they are on PC. So anyways, so I just left it alone, and I was like, all right, I'll just play it on PC. So I played it on there, played a little bit of it, got confused, because I'm like, I just, and that's the thing with both video games, Elite Dangerous and X4 Foundations, you have to understand that there are going to be people playing this for the first time. You have to understand that I like my video games simple. I don't need some over-the-top NASA explanation. I'm just trying to play a video game and have fun with it. You know, but it's like, fam, like, playing these space games, you're learning a whole new skill about video games. And I'm like, why, though? I didn't even ask for that. But, yeah, I guess now, like, when I play me a extremely difficult, challenging game where they want to have 100 million controls just to fly a spaceship or whatever, I'm like, well, now I know, you know, for I guess when they come out with a Elite Dangerous 2 or X5, whatever and stuff. So, but anyways, so yeah, they have it where you can like walk around now outside of your spaceship, like you could go to planets and stuff, and I was like, okay, cool. So I did give the game a chance, went ahead, played it, bought it permanently because I went to g2a.com, and they a lot of times have it where games are on sale, because I think outside of the sale, Elite Dangerous is actually pricey, I believe. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Actually, it's not all that pricey. It's the same price that it is on console. But I think with the DLC too, yeah, it's a little bit pricey with the DLC. So if I were to buy the DLC in the game, it would be $19.99 for the game and $14.99 for the Elite Dangerous Odyssey DLC and stuff. So that's why I was like, all right, you know what? Let me just go to G2A, just buy the game on there so I can save myself some money. So anyways, go ahead, do that, buy the game, play it, and then I finally figured out how to select a mission. So I was like, okay, you know, when I have the time to do that, because it's like, my thing is this, I can't dedicate 24 hours of my life playing Elite Dangerous, you know, and yeah, I guess like I can finish out a mission and then, you know, do whatever it is that I gotta do, but I'm not expecting the game to do this thing. So anyways, I'm playing the game, I select the mission, but I had to go tend to some things. So I was like, I went ahead, ended my stream, turned the game off, and I was like, I'll come back to it whenever, you know. So it was either that same day or the next day. Whenever I did start the game up again, I start the game up, because I usually only play these 2 games while I'm streaming. So I think the only time where I was playing the X4 Foundations was to just figure out some more stuff and things. But anyways, I go ahead and turn back on Elite Dangerous. The game didn't know. So this is what it did. they had it where I failed the mission because I didn't do it within the time frame of after I selected. So there isn't no like, so you know how like when you turn the game off and the game pauses wherever you're at, like it's like a hard pause. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it a hard pause, where you turn the game off and the game doesn't continue on unless you turn that console or gaming PC back on and you start playing the game. No, Elite Dangerous had it where the time just kept going. So unless there's a settings where you can turn off like the game, but my thing is this, that shouldn't even be a thing. You see where all of these, and this is talking to the developers behind Elite Dangerous, how many video games done came out in our lifetime? Like, I wonder if there's a number of, a thing that Google can give me. Let me just look that up real quick. How many video games are there? Let's just see. There is no exact number for the total amount of video games in existence, but here's some information about video games. Number of video games released on Steam from 2004 to 2024. The number of games released on Steam was 10,341 in 2022, 9,924 in 2021, and 9,394 in 2022. And I guarantee and I promise you, there might be maybe some games, but the majority, a good past 90% of those games have it where when you turn that game off, the game ain't gonna continue going on after you turn it off. So that's what did it for me with Elite Dangerous, and I haven't touched the game since. Because I'm like, to me, that just doesn't even make any sense. You know that there are going to be people that are going to be busy, and but you're expecting us to sit down and play this game nonstop whenever we're doing the mission. I don't know how long this mission's going to take. Whatever it is that I needed to tend to that day, I'm like, fam, I really needed to tend to, I need to go do some things. So it's like, it's something where I'm like, nah, you guys got to come out with an update to fix that. Because that's not going to make a person want to continue playing your guys' game. So after that, I just said, nope, forget it. And then that's when I think it was either around that time or maybe afterwards. It might have even been before. But I eventually did see X4 Foundations. X4 Foundations was pretty much the same exact business. Game was confusing, didn't know what I was doing, but they did have tutorials on there where they teach you a lot of the stuff that you're doing. So did start playing the tutorials, but then I was like, okay, then it's like I could just only imagine if these tutorials are like this, where it's even they're somewhat confusing and it's vague too. They don't really tell you like stuff, because they'll say something like, click on object, but there's multiple objects. I'm like, fam, what exactly do you want me to click on? Just instead of saying click on object, say click on spaceship, or click this part of the menu, click on. It's at times where they don't tell you, like they're vague about what the tutorials, some of the tutorials. So it's like I ended up giving up on that game. But then recently I did get back into it because I don't know, I guess I'm going through another phase again where I wanted to play some more space games. But I will say that I'm having a little bit more of a better time with X4 Foundations than I did before. Like, I'm actually sitting down and playing the game and able to get through the tutorials and stuff. Did a couple of missions. One of the missions, I don't know why, I think they need to do some updates with their game too, where so they are telling me, so they had me deliver it was like some medical supplies to this spaceship, right? Or a space station. But so anyways, the guy kept telling me to drop the items. Okay, I'm gonna drop the items. I tried dropping them items at least like maybe 3 or 4 times. It didn't do nothing. Eventually, I did open up this menu where it's selected the items, and then for some reason, the items dismantled. So luckily, the game didn't auto-save, but I'm just saying, it's things like that where I'm like, okay, if there's a thing where it says drop the items and you're saying press this button to drop items, if I press that button to drop items, there shouldn't be no extra stuff to come afterwards. Just have it where I drop the items. That's it. That's all that I'm asking for. So they wanted to be all confusing on that, and I'm like, fam, what is the issue? Like, honestly, though, what's going on? Why is it that you guys gotta make it where stuff seems like it should be like an easy task, but you're making it the most difficult thing possible? Like, I'm not. Then they had it where I had to, this guy, like, I guess he missed his ride on this, like, bigger spaceship, so I'm having to chase that down. Luckily, the autopilot, feature, it somewhat works, but at the same time, it's like, they made that even, difficult. And I'm like, fam, I don't know why they're making this game so difficult. I'm like, it may be because these games are too big and then they can't focus on everything. But I'm like, look, if that's the case, then you need to hire more people to work on your game. Because I'm like, there should be no reason why a game should be that difficult or that challenging or that confusing, you know? So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, both games need a lot of work done to it. You know, Elite Dangerous, I'd say the main thing that they need to work on is add an update where missions pause after you turn off the game, and not no silly stuff where it's like, oh, and you turn the game off, then it's like the mission's gonna still continue going. So it's like a person, they can have like some emergency go down, and then it's like, oh, if they don't tend to the game or they don't go and complete this mission, then they fail the mission. What's the point of even buying the game if I'm like, if I am gonna be out here failing missions because I got a life? I'm saying it's stuff like that where it's all like, you guys, my thing is this, when you guys were developing the video game, where did you sit down and just develop it nonstop? Because I'm saying, I think you guys are still coming out with updates for the game. Let me just check real quick. Elite Dangerous, when was the last time? Last update they did was November 27th. So you guys are still updating the game. So, but my thing is this. Imagine if Steam was like, no, you guys got to update this game all within this time. Otherwise, the game's going to be taken out of the stores. You guys ain't going to, I guarantee and I promise you, you would never do business with Steam again. But for the gamers, I guess it got to be different. I'm like, man, that type of stuff, I don't get that. But anyways, and then, yeah, with X4 Foundations, I have to say between the two, X4 Foundations, it just, yeah, it seems like a much more better game. I will say, though, like Elite Dangerous, they do some things differently where it does seem a little bit more interesting. But, yeah, X4 Foundations, in my opinion, yeah, it's pricier. But I think both games, I think they did come out around the same time. No, actually, Elite Dangerous came out before. I think that's why that game is cheaper. Elite Dangerous came out back in 2015, and X4 Foundations, that game came out a few years later. But yeah, I just think that both games, they just need some stuff to work on, and then after that, you know, things can be cool. You know, I think if they add maybe, I don't know, character customization to X4 Foundation, and then have it where it's like, you know, you could create a character and just explore, you pretty much make your own story. I think that would be a solid thing. And then they just need a better save option on Elite Dangerous and stuff. But if you guys are thinking about getting one of either games or both games, yeah, I recommend trying them out. Maybe start off with Elite Dangerous first so you can, you know, do whatever you need to do on there, because that's a game where you guys spend some time with it. Elite Dangerous, on the other hand, that's a game where I'm like, you know, on a day where I guess, like, just if you're having just like a normal day, don't play that game if you're having a good day, because that game might stress you out, and then your good day goes from being going to be a bad day. And I'm like, don't do that to yourself. All right, so continue having your good day. Just play that game when you know you just having like a normal boring day or something like that, you know, and you just, yeah, got some time. There are tutorials that you can watch throughout YouTube, and then X4 Foundations, they do have like their in-game tutorial. But if you need some things to be elaborated on a little bit more, then yeah, like I said, they got tutorials on YouTube. I probably might end up doing that stuff myself, coming out with tutorials after I sit down and play both games. But currently, right now, I am my main focus is just X4 Foundations. Like I said, I haven't touched Elite Dangerous since they did that thing where they had me start, or not even start, they just said I failed the mission. I'm like, that's just stupid. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. Thank you guys, and peace.